Now we will learn about the importance of geographical factors. Since time immemorial, India has been capturing the attention of the outside world for its unique geographical features. So our India have a very unique type of geographical feature due to which many foreigners were attracted towards our India. Not surprisingly, people from foreign land kept coming into India throughout our long history with their distinct socio-cultural identities. So, the many people from the foreign land they were keep coming in our India uh, in our past, and with the and once they have come in our India, they have brought different types of different socio cultural identities, their cultures, their traditions they were brought in India from the foreign land. The northern part of the subcontinent is occupied by the Himalayan mountain range, which has acted as a natural barrier separating India from the Central Asian countries. So, in the northern part of our India, it is occupied by the Himalayan mountain range, and with the help of the Himalayan mountain range, it is our India is separated from the Central Asian countries. At the same time, however, the passes in the mountain have served a natural gateway for the arrival of people from outside, facilitating the intermingling and merger of different ideas, people, traditions, and culture. So, with the help of these mountains, there are different types of passes through which the people can go from one place to another, and these passes is regarded as the natural gateways through which the people from different countries they were coming in our country, they were mingling in our country, and their cultures, ideas, people, traditions were merged with our India. That's why in India we have a many, or you can say different types of social diversity. All the religion are given equalities, and all the people are living together no matter which religion they follow. So this is the main reason why different foreigners they have come in our India, and our cultures and their cultures have been merged, and till now we are following the same traditions, cultures, and we respect different religion. Another silent features of the Indian subcontinent is the vast fertile stretch of the Indo-Gangetic plain in the north. So the another features of our Indian subcontinent is that in our India we have a Indo-Gangetic plains which is very fertile and is present in the northern part of our India. Below the Indo-Gangetic plain there is the Himalayas. Okay, it was around this fertile plain that the first human settlement in this region came into existence. So in the Himalayas and in the Indo-Gangetic plain, it was the first place where humans were started settling in this region. The third major physical feature of the subcontinent is the southern peninsula, separated from the north by the Vindhya mountains range. So now we have studied about the northern part. Let's study about the southern part of our India, that is southern peninsula, and it is separated from north with the help of the Vindhya mountain range. This range is full of mountains, river, valleys, and plateaus. So Vindhya range is consisted of the mountains, river, valley, and plateaus. During the long course of history, this region has evolved its own distinctive identity, leading a great diversity to the cultural configuration of the subcontinent. So with the passage of time and this long years ago, this region had played an important role in giving the actual identity or a different identity of different people living together by following different culture tradition in our India. In ancient time, people used to tread routes to travel across the region. One of these that linked the Hindu Kush mountain range to the north of the river Ganga was called the Uttarapatha. So in the ancient time, people used to do trade by following the two methods. First is the Patha, that means the Hindu Kush mountain range to the mouth of the river Ganga. So this region is known as Uttara Patha. The other route was which covered the area between the Gujarat in the west and Patliputra in the east was known as Dakshina Path. Though these were primarily trade routes, people use them for other purpose as well. So these are two routes were very important in the ancient time. People used to do trade with this route, and people also use this route for the other purpose also. For instance, these routes were used by migrants, monarchs, and military leaders and spiritual leaders alike to achieve their respective ends. So the other purposes were the people used to move from one country to the other, and different military leaders and spiritual leaders used to achieve their or you can say they used to be successful by using this route. Geographical factors also played a significant part in the way of civilization flourished and decline. The Indus Valley civilization, about which we shall study later, is a noteworthy example. Fertile land on the bank of the river of Indus and its tributaries served as natural means for highly productive agricultural practice. So, the most important civilization of our Indian subcontinent is the Indus Valley civilization, and it is very important in our history. In these, the region in which the Indus Valley civilization was made, it was very fertile land, and it was near the bank of the river Indus, and its tributaries or the branches played an important role for the productive agricultural practices. Subsequently, surplus in agricultural produce lead to the birth of urban centers. These paved the way for the emergence of different classes of craft persons and traders. So with the help of the extra which they have earned in the agricultural produce, it leads to the different urban centers also, and due to the development in the urban centers, it plays an important role for the different classes of craft persons and traders, because they can do trade with other civilization in a more appropriate way.